It's away by Walker, out for a throw. Cam Schneider, one of a number of former Gold Star FC players on this Savannah team. Jokic is one of them. It's Moyers, wide for Vaughn. Two players that were with Savannah last year. Significant changeover in their roster top to bottom, as happens most years in this league. Here's Vaughn getting ahead, sending a cross into the box. It's off the shoulder of Robert Yunchai, who had his arms pinned behind his back. Throw in near the corner flag for Savannah.
Yeah, really just a half-hearted appeal in the end, asking for it there, but I guess no harm in asking. Continue to play on. Could tell Robert Yunchai was ready for it, though. As you said, hands already behind his back.
It's Corey Lundeen, had 3 goals and created 3 more last year for Albion. There's a cross that's flicked across the edge of the 6. The closest player to it in green was Lester Hayes. Throw in even closer to the corner flag for the Clovers on the opposite side this time. Schneider will take a running start at this one on his 4th NISA team, going all the way back to Philadelphia Fury in 2019. That's headed over the top by Lester Hayes III. Didn't miss by much at 6'5", looming over the 6-foot Michael Harry, the Michigan Stars goalkeeper, almost tucked away the first goal of the year for NISA.
Yeah, you could see immediately he was just kind of backing into Robert Yunchai, and another 6-footer as well. Both him and the goalkeeper get 5 inches, and that's something that Michael Harry's going to have to be a little bit more careful on. If he comes out for the ball in there, he's got to win it. So far, I've seen Lester Hayes really stick around where kind of almost I guess a rightish center back where Robert Yunchai's at so far, kind of hanging around there, shading towards him as this game goes on. It'll be interesting to see if that's just where his runs are starting from or if he's trying to get in there.
All the way through to Jack Crichton. Kyle Nelson back to his goalkeeper. Ford Hunt was with them last year also, the other center back. Born in South Africa. Played at University of Memphis stateside. And he gets clipped and fouled. Free kick. Jokic scored the first ever Gold Star Detroit FC goal in NISA, ironically against Savannah last year.
Well, I guess you could say they appreciated what he brought to that game, just not for them. And one way to stop someone scoring against you, you hope, is putting them on your team. There's still chances of scoring yourself, but decent
Vaughn
strategy.
Timed his run there really nicely. Harry comes out, manages to just keep himself inside the 18. Harry's from St. Louis, played college ball out in Hawaii, has a degree in psychology. And that's given away, and it's picked up by Lester Hayes III, 30 years old. Wily veteran, has kicked around Spain and Denmark for most of his career. Also capped 3 times by Puerto Rico, scoring once in a World Cup qualifier against the Bahamas, a 7-0 win 3 years ago. That's won back again by Jokic, and this is Lundeen trying to drive play ahead. Back for Schneider as they try to open up this well-organized Michigan Stars defense. Well, they've been the more incisive team in possession so far, Savannah Clovers, in the first 6 minutes. And here's Jokic with Lundeen to his right. Ball goes his way. Momentum just might take that over the line, and it does. A goal kick for Michigan Stars. The Stars bench, by the way, Sebastian Kapazuki, Steven Yunchai, who is back this series on loan until the end of June from his club in Croatia, Colin Stripling, Andres Shalbad, Hunter Olsen, Leon Maric.
Oh, and what a goal by Hunter Olsen in the last round. Just what a placement. Beautiful goal, curled in. He's probably still thinking about that over there on the bench during this game.
Lester Hayes' cross met by Yunchai. First corner of the season for Savannah Clovers. taken short. Not a great delivery by Jedediah McLeod. Took a little deflection on its way through to Jokic and cleared away Madukwe, the only player up for Michigan Stars. Unable to control it, and it's mopped up by Zach Hargreaves. And from end to end goes that Zara ball, the official ball of NISA for 2024. And with this being a much changed and very different starting 11 for Michigan Stars, you could certainly understand how it might seem a little bit disjointed in possession, especially in this opening 20-30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that's really going to take some time to settle in. I mean, really, you're thinking about, you have an idea in your plan, for going forward the next, 2 days, next week, next month, next 6 months, whatever it is, and roster who's going to be where and when. I don't think this was the plan for this game necessarily, to spend another 3-digit minute outing. Just so close to another important game, and of course now a big U.S. Open game looming in the future. So you didn't really plan to put this necessarily lineup out here, rest the players, but they know they have some talent there. A lot of these guys have had big moments for the Stars over the past, but it is definitely going to take some time. And you think about it too, it's third game compared to going against these USL teams that have already played over half a year that they're going against in the Open Cup. They've had to kind of take certain corners in building their team and cut them to get to the point where they could be competitive the last 2 games, and now trying to get this together a little bit and see who can impress today, get the job done today, but also figure in future Stars lineups.
Nicely threaded by Niels Lelouch. Brady Walker for Nicholas Nicola, who is offside. Scored twice last year, both goals coming just a few minutes apart against Gold Star. Showed some flashes a season ago, often as a sub out wide. His best position is right through the middle as a number 9. So a rare starting opportunity for him. Hayes was being held onto for dear life by Niels Lelouch. Away by Nicola. Madukwe trying to back into Ford Hunt. Prince Madukwe, mostly in college at both San Diego and Western Michigan, a more defensive-minded player. Stars threw him up top in a scrimmage, and he performed very well, trying to turn what he does in training into goals and assists in live game action. There he stuck a boot out and tripped Kyle Nelson, the former Michigan Star.
And as he switches in that position, one of the things that players kind of deal with at any age is trying to go with the flow and go by instinct. That's the tough thing. You start taking too much learning into it, and suddenly you slow down a little bit trying to figure out what you're supposed to be doing instead of going by an instinct. So it'll be interesting to see if he makes big leaps ahead after he starts to relax a little bit.
There's a good win back by Kyle Healy, and the ball forward has played him in. We'll have a coupled away mat in the middle. There's the low cross to the edge of the 6. Not hit hard enough to find Madukwe. Nelson clears it out for a throw. So that's the best attacking moment of the match from Michigan Stars so far. Oh, goodness, that was popped back down the line. There is nobody home whatsoever. Harry has to come racing out of his goal, and he's given that away right to Jokic. Great recovery by Brady Walker as he and Jokic get tangled up. Oh, that was a near disaster for Michigan Stars.
Yeah, those are dangerous situations, though. You think about it, if he just puts it out of bounds, it's right back to the ball right there. They pick that ball up, and they're right back in business attacking the goal. But certainly the soft left-footed pass to another Savannah Clovers player was not the best choice.
Soft back pass to no one in particular, even. Well, their best attacking moves, Savannah Clovers, in the opening few minutes were with Chandler Vaughn out on the left. He's standing in a fair amount of space all the way out of the touchline. The ball through, tried to find him, came off of Lundin and out for a throw. Savannah Clovers, founded in 2016. Last year was their first professional season. went 4-7-13, did not qualify for the playoffs, but their last two matches they beat Maryland Bobcats 2-0 and an impressive 3-2 win over Chattanooga FC at home. These two teams started last year against one another, as a matter of fact, down in Georgia, with Noah Robinson scoring the opener for Michigan Stars and Andrew Berriman, who ended up playing for the Stars in the second half of the season, scoring for the Clovers. That's brought down by Nathan Brown, 21-year-old who played in UPSL Premier last year with Indy Gladiators and led them in scoring. Lundeen is spun to the turf, free kick. Elias McLeod gave it away. Would expect Zach Hargreaves to take this one. Shooting territory, Chris, from 26 yards away.
Well, you know, you would think it would be, but man, Clovers have just owned the possession for so long and not really gotten much opportunity on goal. So I mean, you'd think that chomping at the bit to get something on frame. 4 people in the wall.
Hargreaves from Manchester with a little shuffle. Smacks that into the wall. And Walker clears. He played at Saginaw Valley State. Madukwe, great closing down of Ford Hunt. Justin June, who started his college career at Marshall, slides into Mason Moyers. And Justin Janulewicz says, hey, use your head next time, Justin. From one Justin to another.
I mean, he's probably saying, you know, we know you're a smart person. You went from Marshall, did really well there, but then you decided to go on vacation. You went down to Florida for college. You're making good decisions. Let's do so on the field.
And Thomas University. And now up here in Metro Detroit. It's threaded through for Schneider. Can he get there and keep it in play? He cannot. It's certainly nicer weather than we've had for some NISA openers up here in Romeo, Michigan. It's a little bit windy for my taste, but temperatures in the 50s, it's not bad. You never know what you're going to get in the northern Midwest this time of year. It's back to Harry. And Jokic pokes that behind. He was effective for Gold Star last year. 4 goals, 5 assists.
Actually, kind of interesting. I think the Clovers were pushing up, not allowing the Stars to work the ball to the back. But I think the Stars were struggling enough working the small passes out of the back. And talking about kind of not really reading each other yet, knowing where people are going to be. I think you invite that in instead. Drop off a little bit, invite them to go short. And granted, the first option is Robert Yunchai, and we saw more of him out in the flank, and he plays a great ball. So they might be kind of more worried about him playing a great ball and if he gets a little space. But you got to wonder if the Clovers will kind of back off a little bit and then put Michigan Stars under pressure when they try to go small.
Here's Lester Hayes, the third, lurking, locked up with Niels Lelouch, the young Frenchman. Jokic out of the touchline, off of McLeod, who wanted to turn and wriggle away from him, but he dragged it over the line, and it's a throw in an attacking area potentially for Savannah. Amongst the shadows on the track, Cam Schneider. Long throw in near the angle of the 6. First header won by Lelouch. The third one away by Nathan Brown, who does have great pace and goal scoring ability. Here's McLeod, a chance for the cross. Jedediah, that is. Lelouch heads behind. Well, a fair amount of the first 16 minutes has been played down at this end. Can Jedediah McLeod whip the right kind of ball in from the corner? Hayes, of course, is a big target at 6'5". That skims past everyone. Schneider has nowhere to go. Tees that up at the edge of the 18. Right into the palms of Michael Harry. Danger not gone just yet. San Rabens flicks that away. McLeod cutting in, that just ran past Jokic. Schneider looped it through. Lelouch cuts clear. San Rabens trying to drag that forward, but he drags it out of play. He was in Nisa Nation last year. In fact, got to the Nisa Nation National Finals with Peak 11. He's built like a tank. Out there playing it right back as all tanks do. Vaughn with a good underlapping run. Corner or goal kick? Will be a corner. I wasn't sure if that had maybe gone out of play before the cross came in.
Yeah, I saw some appeals for the corner before even the official had a chance to make a motion. Yeah, that end line is kind of tough to see. It's on the inside of the end zone.
Hargreaves tries to head that back in. June with an overhead kick away. Back to Hargreaves. And now Corey Lundeen. That's a good ball, stood up back post. Hayes heads down. And Harry puts his body on the line and collides with Ford Hunt, who is up from the back. By the way, an enjoyable new addition to the atmosphere here in Romeo. The two young ladies on the drums down below us, right at halfway.
Wait, I
That's
heard
a nice
that.
touch.
I got up and looked immediately.
Brown got a shove in the back from Vaughn. Hunt all the way back to Crichton, who has not had a whole heck of a lot to do in the first 19 minutes. Lelouch heads back to his keeper, has to wait right at the edge of the 18. Area under pressure from Hayes. Lelouch poking that ahead. Nicola giving chase. Shepherded out by Cam Schneider. Spun favorably for Lundeen. Now falls for Jokic. Jedediah McLeod in great space on the left. San Rabens over there to meet him. Waiting for some support. Only Hayes in the box. Now two more arrive. Jokic and Moyers came in.
Yeah, Moyers is the one I had my eye on, but that ball didn't carry quite far enough for him. But it was a great late run from him. He had space to attack into if they could have found him that far.
Schneider, left-footed shot, always headed wide. Well, thoughts on the first 20, Chris?
Well, you figure from the Star side, you figure that this is probably some disjointed play you'd see on the ball. But defensively, it seems like they've been pretty cohesive. And you know, I wouldn't have, I didn't see Robert Yunchai playing center back coming into it. But you watch, he's the guy that kind of stepped back in and did a little bit of overhead volley to get a ball out, because his first reaction was to step to the keeper on a shot. And Michael Hara makes a save, and he's right back in to chip it back out. And he looks like he's doing some organizing as well. But you kind of think about, you're going to be playing some people out of position, quite possibly trying some things out. So that disjoint attack. So now we get a chance to see what they do in the final third. Still a little bit long. But you'd imagine you'd see that. But of course, the possession that the Savannah Clovers have had so far, that is the real impressive thing. Of course, they're now out of U.S. Open Cup, so they have their full sights and attention on this game. Stars with the luxury of pulling from a roster that seems to be pushing towards, you know, upper 20s with how many people they're playing today that didn't play a few days ago, compared to the 14, 15 that come from Savannah Clovers. And you'd imagine, hey, they are more used to playing with each other. There's less of them.
Yeah, no Justin Merrim today, the 13-year MLS vet who started at Minnesota United too, was with Charlotte FC last year and is from Southeast Michigan. No Dan Wright either. Boy, Corey Lundeen says he got the ball. Justin Janulovic doesn't agree, and neither does Elias McLeod, I'm sure. So a chance for a Stars free kick. And it's not the typical physically massive back line, is it, from the Stars? Without Sako Kanate at 6'6". Sebastian Kapazuki, 6 feet tall, but is a veteran of a couple of NISA clubs and Chattanooga Red Wolves in USL League One. Garrett Hogbin and Ahmed Shaibu Jr. now with LA Force. It's a good ball in, but the flag is up for offside.
Yeah, for so many years, the Stars were just so dangerous on set pieces in the other end, as well as they did such a great job defending him because they had massive backs that were amazingly nimble as well. You see them going forward a number of times. But I think the last time we got to call Hogman as a center back, I think he was attacking center back. He kept working down the field so often. And the guys that could really move. So just adapt to the players you have on each day. Kind of tweak a little bit to your strengths, but you pretty much play the way you always play.
Now Crichton gets rid of it. For Lundin. Send Rabins the header.
Yeah, Clovers are trying to find that Stars back line static. Tried to pull him towards the middle line, and then made a couple runs forward, trying to get the ball in over the top. Not quite enough on that ball to be dangerous.
Madukwe trying to harass Kyle Nelson. Long again, Schneider's up there.
Yeah, we didn't see a lot of Route 1 earlier in the game, but it looks like that's been the option and look of choice here recently. Putting numbers up top and trying to put some just in back of that back line. So maybe expect them to come underneath again.
That's out for a throw, and that was a bit risky. Jedediah McLeod barged over near the angle of the box. Jun unable to do anything with that. Good read from Lelouch. And Brown put the wrong kind of spin on that as he tried to peel away up the line.
Go Stars!
Best wishes also to Lucas Moorfield, who was brought in to back up to Tenda Makruva in goal for the Stars. Suffered a broken leg in training this week. We wish him well. They do have 4 keepers on the books, Michigan Stars. Makruva, of course, who's been here forever. Harry, who is starting today. Moorfield and Brandon Reski, who was with them as a practice player last year. This year he's wearing the not at all goalkeeper appropriate number 5.
Well, you know, he might have aspirations for maybe spend a little time.
Yeah, every goalkeeper thinks they're a center back, don't they? Madukwe with a good ball up the right, looking for Nicola. He and Nathan Brown flipped flanks several minutes ago. Nicola looking for Madukwe through the middle, trying to put Kyle Nelson off. Of course, as time goes on, conventional numbering based on likely position seems to mean less and less.
I've seen Serie A, haven't you? I'm not sure what position 89 is supposed to be.
Well, if I'm watching a college game, let's say, and the 2 center backs are wearing 9 and 10, like something isn't right.
They probably just went on the wrong side of the field.
Madukwe trying to post up Ford Hunt again. We saw that earlier as well. Back to Robert Yunchai, getting to wear the captain's armband today, going on a run forward. And that did clip Zach Hargreaves' head. So the Stars have a throw.
You haven't lived until you've been a GM of a club and had to explain to your head coach that you couldn't afford to have every size jersey and every single number on a small budget for a semi-pro team, because he wanted to have the starters wearing 1 through 11.
Free kick taken immediately by the Clovers. That's McLeod out there on the left, trying to run at Pierre Saint-Rabens. Nicola got back on defensive duty. There's Yunchai, whose brother could maybe come off the bench in the second half and make an instant impact with his lightning quick pace out wide. Leon Marich, last year's second leading scorer in Nisa with 14 goals. He's on the bench. Andres Shelbad with plenty of pace, 8 assists in his career. 7 of them came last year. The head of Brady Walker and then put a foot in against Jokic. Forced backwards. June went to ground. Left Jokic in a heap. Badukwe asking for it to feet. Hunter Olsen, too, scored that terrific goal in midweek against Minnesota United, too. The bench for Savannah Clovers, by the way, Daniel De Leon, Jack Proctor, the 15-year-old son of Clovers head coach David Proctor, Alejandro Cruz, and Alex Ainsko. So if you're just joining us, only 4 on the bench for the Clovers that made the trip.
And one of them, if he doesn't finish his homework by second half, he's not going in. That's it.
Hopefully it was done on the flight. Flew in overnight to the Clovers. They're giving this Michigan Stars, I guess you could say, B lineup a right go in the first half hour. Crichton going to come out for that. Tell you what, his kicks out from his own 18 and just outside it there have been a little bit of an adventure. Hargreaves, short for Lundeen. Fighting his way through. There's the shot and parried away by Michael Harry. Really the first time he's had to do anything complicated in this match. The first shot that he faced was directly at him. That was a heck of a stop. Let's see it again here. Hargreaves, the neat little short ball. Lundeen bouncing off of a would-be challenge. And I think Harry got caught leaning the wrong way. He might not have seen that until late.
I think he did. And the other thing, too, is you see where that sun's at right now. That's probably gave him a little bit of an issue on that shot as well. It's just minutes from being low enough. Yeah, that would be a harsh handling call right there. However, could still be made.
That's got the Clovers hopping mad. Justin Janulovic waved it away immediately. McLeod just stumbles over the ball. Still able to get the better of Walker. Moyers. Harry comes out, gets clattered into by Ford Hunt. And both Michael Harry and Pierre Saint-Rabens down in the box.
You can see right there. Harry's trying to block the sun. It's nowhere over the last couple of years where the official can drop the ball back so you don't take the advantage away from the goalkeeper. So put it back up in his hands.
Nicola's flick on. Badukwe with pace, that's a header back. Badukwe takes a touch, and there's the opening goal of the season. Praise Badukwe, Johnny on the spot, and Michigan Stars take the lead.
And there's going to be booking at least as well, or is he putting notes in there? There it is.
And a yellow card issued to Ford Hunt. Let's take a look at this one more time. And that's a terrific header on by Nicola, and that's our first real glimpse of the pace of Praise Madukwe. Kind of an indifferent header back to the keeper. It missed him entirely. Madukwe pounces, and Michigan Stars have a 1-0 lead.
Get the goal and draw a yellow card from your opponent. Not a bad sequence. Great read. As you said, we've got to see the pace as well on that. That ball's right between two Clovers players when it was head on. More than likely part of the reason the timing was slightly off. Official was right on it from the beginning, though. He was always going to give the card up there. More than likely, he was just waiting to make sure it went in. If it doesn't go in, he goes to a different area.
Should put some pep in the Michigan Stars' collective step. First goal of the season. First professional goal for Praise Madukwe, who last year played at Western Michigan from out in Murrieta, California. Clovers trying to answer back immediately. Jokic took that from Elias McLeod. And here is Jokic. Shot is blocked. It's Lundeen's cross beyond everyone. Can't help but feel like that goal was exactly what this game needed.
I would say very rarely, unless you're, maybe you have two sons and one's in goal for one team and one's in goal for the other. Everyone else besides that random parent is gonna want goals, and that's gonna open it up a little bit.
Exactly what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and you really hope now that really I think will have the attitude of getting Stars to push up more. As strange as it sounds now that they have the 1-goal lead, but probably gives them a little more confidence in their play. Clovers was always going to attack. They've been doing it so far, but they really had gone away from possessing the ball, that they're just owning the field for so long. Too, as you made that comment about kind of those long balls that Crichton was playing in, direct 60-yard balls, but they really weren't getting anything out of them.
First booking for a Michigan Stars player, and it goes to Pierre Sanrabens. 28 years old, from Haiti. Played at Nova Southeastern University in Florida. Ironically, about 30 seconds after leaving my house in Toledo to meet up with you to drive up here to Romeo, I was at a red light behind a car with a Nova Southeastern University alum license plate holder.
Maybe they're driving all the way up here to watch.
That could be. They did have Florida plates.
Oh, that's a beautiful campus. I actually took my advanced national diploma down there. It's actually on the stayed at the Miami Dolphins facility for their players, which was also hilarious because I'm only 5'10", but I had to reach way up to hang stuff up in the closet. Must have been an offensive lineman's room, but beautiful campus down there, and you could see why it would attract good soccer players want to live at that campus. Beautiful area.
Offensive lineman or typical Michigan Stars center back, either way.
Yeah, I was going to say, we asked. Can we just have the punter's room next time, please? Much more comfortable.
Throw in for Savannah Clovers. 10 minutes left in the first half. Luch stepped in there. Jokic back to Hargreaves. And that's wide of Jedediah McLeod. Nice little flick from Nicola or Madukwe, the two combined on the Stars' season opening goal. Lundeen pops that wide for Lester Hayes the third. There's the cross. Oh, palmed away by Harry. Has to get back to his feet quickly. Jokic has a shot. No deflection, just a goal kick.
You made me think back to that time. It's the only time I've ever been in a class of any sort where your teacher, who was Tony Waiters at the time, I guess he was our teacher, but gave us the assignment the last night there to meet at the Falcon, which is a bar on near that campus or whatever. The only time I ever had that assignment, And then he didn't show up. He just wanted all the candidates to relax, stop taking it so seriously. Hey, we're just coaching soccer here.
Well, heck, I could pass that class. Tony Waiters, who led who to the 1986 World Cup?
That would be Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And fortunately, he had to call home, and I was the only one that had an international calling plan because what I did for a living at the time. And I got the Tony Waiters borrowed my phone to call home.
And now Elias McLeod gets booked for a foul on Corey Lundeen. That Canada team didn't score a goal in 3 matches at that World Cup, but France did not score against them until the 82nd minute or something like that.
He's a goalkeeper coach, of course. He probably never thought that, oh, yeah, the in-possession part. We kind of forgot to cover that the last few months.
Hargreaves clipping it in, looking for Hayes.
Ooh.
Just wide.
Ooh, he was in. Just a little redirect.
He can be a problem, Lester Hayes.
Yeah, really active off the ball, just kind of setting up where he's going to be. It's been fun watching him just kind of maneuver around that back line to kind of pick his spots every once in a while, going up against a player so he has contact right away to explode into space. Other times, you can see him setting himself into space, trying to get different looks, and then trying to figure out where he needs to be with runners coming up underneath. There's going to be a little call back there from where a foul is uncalled and advantage was given. And take it away. And none was gained.
Hargreaves for Moyers. He's got a connection to 1980s soccer, just like Tony Waiters, whom you mentioned a couple of minutes ago. His Uncle Steve was one of the rare American standouts back in the old NASL days. Scored twice in a national team win over Mexico in 1980. It was their first win over Mexico in nearly 50 years at the time.
Say he scored twice? 2-0?
Sí. Thus ending my knowledge of Spanish. Vaughn got forward a couple of times in the opening minutes, and we really haven't seen that since. Hunt gets, tripped by Nathan Brown, and he might be lucky not to get booked. And he won't get a yellow card, barely even a talking to. Well, they've done all right, this kind of makeshift Michigan Stars starting 11, including a new goalkeeper and Michael Harry, who comes out. Duque's done okay up top. Took his one chance. That's a good ball clipped through. Kyle Nelson wins that in the air. Here's Brown. Good passing triangle. Brown's cross. Vaughn wins in the air. San Rabens trying to set up Maduque, who's making a nuisance of himself in the box. Michigan Stars get a second goal before halftime. You have to think that would really let the wind out of Savannah Clovers' sails. McLeod tried to play that through to Nicola.
Right about there, you imagine after the handling call that was just missed there. That's exactly why the official didn't call the ones that were not even near what that was at midfield.
Good ball by Hargreaves. Lundeen crossfield for McLeod. Now Vaughn is up again. And Yunchai just stabs that out for a throw-in.
Now we'll get to see how that new Zara ball performs in the mud out wide there as it leaves the facility. Oh, this looks good in the build there.
Madukwe couldn't get that head of steam going quite early enough. Then is fouled by Ford Hunt. He has to be careful. He was booked already. They do have another center back on the bench, Daniel De Leon. If you're David Proctor and you think, well, heck, we're already very light on bodies. Last thing we want is to have somebody sent off and suspended for the next match.
Yep, and then, of course, then put even more pressure on the 10 that are remaining on the field on top of it.
Brady Walker's free kick is claimed by Jack Crichton.
You think about how many bookings there were in the Stars' last game against Minnesota, and then the management of all those players, you know, they wanted to keep them on the field. They did, and they managed really well sitting on the one yellow card. And, you know, it's to the point, hey, you're a professional. Manage your card situation, manage your play. But that center back sometimes just that last second thinking someone's going to get through. You got to get a pull on the jersey and a yellow card. It's easy to do at a position like that at center. It just comes natural to do anything you can to stop a goal.
Schneider. Hayes backing up. St. Rabens climbed all over his back to try and head it down, and then Jokic blazes over the bar. Well, you can't say they haven't had chances in this first half, Savannah Clovers.
Yeah, that's a disappointment with them is all that possession they had for the first 20 minutes, and they've had multiple chances after that, some good runs in. So Lester Hayes at about, 3 feet away from the goal, just a little bit of a redirect. Probably didn't see the ball till about the last second, but a great serve in. That's just a touch in if he's right on it. And they give up a work rate goal.
Which is really the only chance of note in the first half for the Stars. 2 minutes of time added on. And Justin June, he'll be booked now.
Yep.
So that's 3 yellow cards issued to the Stars in this first half. Justin Janulewicz will wait for Justin June to get to his feet and then brandish the card.
It's going to be really awkward at the next Justin meetings. But you made the point earlier, he kind of got a little warning earlier. So you knew that was coming on that tackle.
So everybody up essentially for Savannah. Hayes lost out to Lelouch. Shot is blocked. Moyer's trying to keep Savannah in possession, cannot do so. Nicola and Madukwe trying to link up again. This one though is smacked back to Crichton. And again, not a great clearance. Well, McLeod wasn't able to bring it down. Academic because Lester Hayes III came back from an offside position.
And Crichton actually just looks uncomfortable after he hits those two, so he knows he's off a little bit, which almost makes it worse. You think about that. It's going to get tighter and tighter until he can get that sorted out. See what the issue is for him.
Nicola's cross. Hunt diving after it. Brown has a shot from distance, trying to bend that to the back post. Crichton smothers.
And he thinks he's Hunter Olsen or something.
Chance we could see him in the second half. Possibly not, with Michigan Stars currently in the lead, and they will take that lead into halftime. Well, this Michigan Stars B, you might call them, with the first teamers having played so much soccer in the last 2 weeks. They got the first half off almost to a man. Only Brady Walker and Praise Madukwe staying in the starting 11, and it's Praise Madukwe who has Nice's first goal for the 2024 campaign, set up by a header through from Nicholas Nicola. Bit of a mess at the back by the Clovers. The Stars have a 1-0 lead. We'll see you back in Romeo after the break. Mason Lowry, Chris Black, back with you on opening night of NISA action for 2024. Michigan Stars up 1-0 on Savannah Clovers. A goal in the 32nd minute from Praise Madukwe, starting up top for the Stars. And we said it a couple of times in the first half. This is essentially a Michigan Stars B team. It's a lot of reserves and guys that didn't make the bench for the two U.S. Open Cup matches. They've done okay so far, a little bit disjointed at times, but that's understandable.
Yeah, they worked through the issues early in the game. Clovers had the by far possession opportunities in the final third, but Stars weathered it. You figured if they got a goal early, it might be on a counter as they kind of sort things out or a set piece. And as it was pressuring a ball going back to the goalkeeper, and that's been one of the issues with the Clovers, getting that ball back out of the back once the keeper even had it. You made mention numerous times, getting the ball off his feet. Crichton had a hard time getting it clear. And then they looked like they kept trying to go direct, but nothing was coming out of it. The balls weren't over the top far enough. A lot of good runs, though, just never there. The official's going to go ahead and just allow it to continue with.
May as well.
Yeah, I think more people than Clovers brought here were on the wrong side of the field when that ball was dropped back.
Niels Lelouch touches that out for a throw-in. Well, Savannah Clovers, they created more opportunities for themselves in the first half than the Stars did. The Stars took their chance. Clovers could not. They'll try and change that here. Oh, a chance from the angle of the 6. From Jedediah McLeod. Took a big swing at that. Couldn't find the target.
The pressure of possible bragging rights to be the first McLeod to score in this game. They had got the best of him there. Another opportunity from close in that Savannah's put over the crossbar.
Lelouch, interestingly, taking goal kicks. Not Michael Harry. Don't believe any changes were made at halftime, by the way. Savannah Clovers only have the 4 subs. Stars have a full complement of them, including 2 goalkeepers, in case you need all 3. Harry starting, Tatenda Makruva and Brandon Reski on the bench. It's a front-loaded home schedule, by the way, for the Stars. I believe 5 of their first 6 NISA matches are here in Romeo. Here's Chandler Vaughn finding space. Up from left back, San Rabens comes in, out for a throw-in. Chandler Vaughn, a draft pick of LA Galaxy in the 2022 MLS Super Draft, played at Pitt and St. Louis in college. Never made an appearance for the Galaxy, though he did play for LA Galaxy 2 in USL Championship. Off of Lelouch, beg pardon. Easy for me to say, out for a corner. McLeod put that down for Cam Schneider, the captain. And again, Lester Hayes III, such a big target at 6'5". I think he was the intended target of that. Dealt with partially by the Stars. Hargraves lines one up through the uprights.
And Lester Hayes has that height advantage pretty much everywhere in there if you can find him right where he's at. But imagine at some point you want him on the run a little bit. Get some momentum going, because all he's going to be able to do there is really redirect and absorb. He had 2 Stars players up against him. They couldn't win the ball, but they could sure body up against him if they needed to.
Justin June is dispossessed. Here comes Vaughn. Thread of the needle there. McLeod trying to cut in, but his older brother helps deal with it. Switch from Moyers to Schneider. On for Vlad Jokic. Good little touch on. Here's McLeod. Pop forward for Lundin if he can keep it in, which he does. Robert Yunchai went to ground to slide that away. Yeah, that came up and hit Justin June in the hand. He's one of 3 Michigan Stars players booked in the first half. Him, Elias McLeod, and Pierre Sanrabens. A couple of guys warming up for the Stars. Hargreaves' free kick. Ooh, almost found Hayes, and then that's another one that's put through the uprights.
Yeah, tough thing is finding Hayes on the side that is away from the goal. All he can really try to do is redirect or knock it down for somebody else running on, but that didn't really look like there was a second runner coming in behind. If you want to find a guy nimble enough to kind of turn and get it on frame, you might not want to go with the 6'4" guy.
Nathan Brown, it's the referee. Back to Michael Harry. And now he's given that away. That has to leave his feet to haul in the line drive shot that came back his way. I was just about to say he's done okay, Michael Harry, in his first professional start.
That's twice.
Wonder if he's got a problem here.
Yep. Yeah, that's twice, and that's probably why he didn't take that goal kick earlier. He'd been checked on earlier in the first half, had an issue, and now he's calling for a change, and that may have been who we saw warming up at halftime. Saw it doing some core loosening. If that was one of the goalkeepers, there was no number or anything, so they're still covered with the cold kind of starting as the sun came down.
To tend to Makruva, who thought he was going to have the night off, has to sprint back from his warm-up and take all of his layers off so he can come on.
And it wasn't Tatenda that was warming up prior, so that man will remain a mystery.
That's a shame. Michael Harry made one excellent save in the first half. So his debut will end just 6 minutes after halftime. So Tatenda Makruva, the former Zimbabwe international, will come in wearing his familiar number 16. New kits this year, by the way, which you folks at home have surely noticed. Michigan Stars now provided by Adidas, having been a Hummel club for quite a while. They look sharp, easy to read numbers and names.
Yeah, and you know that's the number one thing we care about. We want those numbers nice and easy to read. I'm not sure what font that is, but certainly the biggest I remember seeing in a while, and is much appreciated. Goalkeeper kits in that light blue. At this point, Makruva's we got guards to put on. Gloves aren't even on yet.
You can see him on the right side of your screen trying to hurriedly get everything together before everybody else cramps up. If you stop moving in this cold, you're going to feel it.
Yep. Yeah, and that at least tells you that whatever Michael Harry was going through, they thought he could work through it because Makruva wasn't ready to get right on the field.
So that would mean that Michigan Stars would be down 2 goalkeepers then.
Yeah, hopefully it's just a minor knock, but
goalkeeping room would be cut in half in the span of just a few days. Lucas Moorfield broke his leg in training. And here comes Tatenda Makruva, an expressive, shall we say, goalkeeper.
This might be some brand new bright bright white gloves over there. As well, you think good thing you're not pro contact latex and have the plastic still on. Because that'll be a whole nother thing while they're over there picking the plastic off the ball. Ooh.
Just bombs that all the way up the pitch. Kyle Nelson's header.
I'll just step on the field and put an 80-yard side volley downfield.
Nicola sends that to the corner and prays Madukwe, first half goal scorer. Decent cross. Crichton with a catch right in front of Nicola. Right back to the Stars.
And Crichton has just not looked comfortable with his feet a number of times, and you wonder if he's dealing with some sort of an injury as well.
Nelson with Nathan Brown barreling down on him, has to bail. It's Kyle Healy. Cam Schneider was waiting for quite a while for Jack Crichton to come for that.
Yeah, and praise Madukwe had to hold up too. He was in offside position, so he had to drop back and wait till it's played again. That's why he wasn't chasing after that.
Ouch. Clovers throw in as Brady Walker takes a tumble. He scored 23 goals and assisted on 11 in his 5 seasons at Saginaw Valley State. Hargreaves for Schneider. Good touch for Jokic. Jedediah McLeod. Vaughn making an underlapping run. San Rabens gets in the way. Ooh, that's good skill along the line. Partially cleared by McLeod. And Makruva puts his body on the line to make sure that's a throw-in and not a corner. And he almost kicked it out of the stadium.
Far AR side, it was a corner then, but yeah, it looked like he might have saved it from our vantage point. It was impressive just to get there and put that much power on it.
McLeod's corner. Oh, it's right there on the line, and Savannah Clovers equalize. I think it was the big man, Lester Hayes III, who got his head to it. And it's a brand new ball game in the 58th minute.
Yeah, we'll see if they finally might have him on the run here as he is attacking the ball instead of waiting for it to come to him. That flooded the goal mouth. Makruva's pretty much stuck central, then has to read that ball. They played that flat along that end line.
That is a terrific ball whipped in by Jedediah McLeod. And Lester Hayes III from point-blank range smashes it home. And I wonder if that might change Enes Djokovic's thinking in terms of the substitution patterns in the second half for the Stars. Here they come again. The cross is at full stretch, slid partially away by Robert Yunchai. Again, the Clovers appeal for a corner, and again they don't get one. For a penalty, rather. They don't get one. Oh, Kyle Nelson gave that right to Nick Nicola. And Madukwe was offside.
It's tough, though, because the ball had a play made for it by the Clovers defender. And they made a play, soccer play on that ball.
Here comes Cam Schneider. Lundin with a little touch to the flank. There's the cross, looking for Hayes again. Yunchai brought it down. Stopped by Makruva. Schneider lets it go behind a corner.
Great run by Lester Hayes. I mean, great run where placement was great, but Makruba so quick on his reactions. 2 quick saves and up on his feet again, chasing that ball out of bounds.
Another corner. This one's caught by Makruva.
Yeah, looking at Kyle Nelson, that backside of the 6.
Justin June flicked that infield to Kyle Healy. And Nicola, that's good. Pushing it wide. Walker. Madukwe kind of stumbled. Drops for Nicola here. That's off of Nelson, who recovers and turns it aside for a throw-in. Two changes coming for Michigan Stars momentarily. Tell you about those in a second. Madukwe. There's the cross whipped in, looking for Nicola, back post. Vaughn couldn't really clear. Clearance right to Pierre Sanrabens. Just puts it right out for a throw-in. Sako Kanate is one. Scored the winner in the Open Cup in the 99th minute from a corner in midweek at Minnesota United.
It makes sense getting size in there, try to deal with any set pieces coming their way. As Lester Hayes is really kind of having his way on movement off the ball, getting toward the goal. Might as well get a 6'6" center back onto the field.
Colin Stripling is the other. Last couple of years with Chattanooga FC, who are now in MLS Next Pro. Just a great, solid professional, Colin Stripling. So Pierre Sanrabens will make way. I would think that would push Robert Yunchai to right back, and then you'll have 6'6" and 6'3" center backs in Kanate and Lelouch. And Justin June will come off for Colin Stripling. So that immediately stiffens the spine of this team.
Yep, adds a little more height. Yeah, you do lose a little size there. The Sanrabens coming off, but you are gaining more height. Especially right down the middle. Unless they put Lelouch out wide right. I think he'd retreat centrally, but so far has not.
It's Lundin for Schneider. Jokic running straight ahead of him. Back for Zach Hargreaves. Mason Moyers. Madukwe came charging in at the last moment. Lester Hayes the third, Clovers goal scorer. This was the final scoreline last year in the season opener between these teams, 1-1. That was down in Georgia. Kanate now can tussle with Lester Hayes. It's picked up by Makruva at his near post. And you're right, Niels Lelouch has stayed out at right back. Stripling with a little flick, doesn't go anywhere. There's Kyle Healy from one of the great high school programs in the Midwest, Cleveland St. Ignatius. Madukwe is a mile offside. Healy played at 3 colleges, Cincinnati, who dropped their men's soccer program, then Northern Kentucky, and finished up at IUPUI last year. I think they go by IU Indy now.
That's right. No more ooey pooey. That's been done. As a hard habit to break, though. We've got Lester Hayes the third off getting maybe a wrist taped or something.
Wonder if he's got blood. Stars will make 2 more changes. And right now, Savannah Clovers a man light with Lester Hayes. I have to assume he had blood on his hand or something and had to have that situation dealt with. That did go over the touchline for a Stars throw. McLeod ghosted into some space there. Moyers pops that up into the air. Schneider clears, but here come the Stars anyway. That is scooped high and wide by Elias McLeod. Just ran past Jokic. Stripling tried to put that on the chest of McLeod. Healy has to retreat. Here's Sako Kanate, 25 years old. Second pro game has already scored in an MLS stadium. How cool is that? Nelson found Moyers. Changes will come now. And Nicholas Nicola will be replaced by Steven Yunchai. I think maybe the wrong number went up. It's Hunter Olsen who comes in, and now Yunchai joins him. So the other player to come off, I believe, was Nathan Brown. So you'll have Yunchai on the left side of a front three, presumably Olsen on the right, and Madukwe still is the number 9. Kanate takes a tumble, and Jokic playing Schneider into acres of space. Makruva had to come storming off his line. A terrific save. It goes behind for a corner.
A little disorganization as the subs were made. So acres of space up that right flank for the Clovers. And Makruva just so good coming off his line. 1v1s are, they're great to be great at as a goalkeeper, but you certainly don't want to find yourself in that position too many times. That's twice from Makruva today, and he's done so well with both.
It's over everyone, the corner. McLeod, that's a great stop again by Makruva. So much traffic there in the 6-yard box. And the Stars substitute keeper pounces. Madukwe goes down against Kyle Nelson. It's given right back to the Stars and picked up by Healy. Olsen's first touch since coming in. Maluch for Olsen. 6-goal scorer last year. And a peach of a goal in extra time in Minnesota. Lelouch, Olsen. Wanted Stripling. Lundin wriggles away from Kyle Healy. Oh, it's one back cleanly, says Justin Janulowicz. Shot from distance. Makruva, did he get a hand to that, or was that headed wide? Goal kick. Been awfully impressed with Savannah Clovers in this second half. They've got the throw in right at halfway. Hargreaves forced backwards. That's a risky ball. Back in front for your center back. That's Daniel DeLeon who came on. Here's the change that they made a few minutes ago. Jedediah McLeod finds the feet of Lester Hayes III. Schneider over there on the right. That's caught by Makruva. Got rid of it quickly, hoping to release Praise Madukwe, who has such speed. Didn't really work out that time. Stars lost Schneider on the right. Walker's running with him, trying to stay shoulder to shoulder, and Makruva is not happy with, is that Lundin in there? I think Makruva thought he had possession of the ball. Referee agreed.
Yeah, last couple times down the field, the Clovers have been able to release just a touch late on that right flank side, get an extra player in, and the Stars aren't accounting for him.
Asking everybody to get further up the pitch to tend to Makruva. Ball forward goes right to Kyle Nelson. Hayes nearly controlled that with his heel. So calm under pressure so often to tend to Makruva in a way that most goalkeepers are not.
His calm touching the space to beat his first defender. That's what he's thinking. I always feel like he's looking up to try to decide, all right, how many more can I beat? Can I get all the way down the field? Okay, fine. I'll just play the ball down the field. He's measuring it.
See, he is not one of those every goalkeeper thinks he's a center back kind of guys.
Yeah, he thinks he's a 9 or a 10. He's just starting from really far back.
With De Leon and Nelson. Long run by the center back, and he's found Chandler Vaughn. Chance for the cross. Went to the back post, and it's headed wide.
And then I think Hayes ducked down thinking he's in offside position. That's what would make sense with what he did there. It did seem like he was advanced too far up the field when that ball was played.
It was Jokic who couldn't put that on frame. Throw in goes to Michigan Stars. 17.5 minutes plus stoppage time.
And there will be extensive stoppage time after the goalkeeper switch.
McLeod. That hits Stephen Yunchai. Oh, nothing given at all. Everybody stopped for a moment. And Hunter Olsen puts a thumb up for the good ball that was played his way, but Chandler Vaughn with the pace to hold him off. Konate hits that back to Makruva. They high five.
Oh, can't be doing that. So Lundin swiping at the ball as Makruva bounced it. You're allowed to bounce it as a goalkeeper. If it bounces a second time, then it's free game.
And McLeod not on the same wavelength as Stephen Yunchai. He was curling his run in. Ball was sent to the touchline and over it.
Does it ever go up for you? No. He's talking about the shirts that we get sent in style, like before brand new was and everything was just kind of like figuring out when you could bring it and what it is and everything.
Now the long ball from Moyers. Wanted Schneider. Bounces out for a throw. Taken quickly to Zach Hargreaves. Manchester born. Came to the States to play collegiately. The edge of the box, Lelouch flicks away. Out off of Olsen. McLeod was dispossessed, but Olsen helps bail him out. Lelouch popping it ahead, wanting Madukwe. Nelson heads straight up in the air, then wins the second ball. And I don't think that's what Niels Lelouch intended. Kanate center forward.
Yeah, with Kanate back there, that route one just not going to work over the top. You've got something that can go size for size against Lester Hayes III. We're going to need to vary those balls.
And Yunchai has to concede the corner.
It started out as just a 1v1. He's shielding off one player, became 1v2. You'd think it'd be easy to drop that up to Nakruva, but at the same point, you've got a guy that's free to sprint at him. So not a bad idea just to clear it out. Of course, he's trying to get it to that touchline, just wasn't able to.
Another corner. Well, they scored their goal from one.
Yeah, went right along that end line again, just driving that ball in.
Oh, that got through to the back post. Now the flag goes up. No, that's a tough way to play when you have a lot of guys that haven't necessarily played together before, when you are trying to build out from the back like that. Clovers are back in possession.
Yeah, you appreciate that they're trying to maintain possession, work the ball out, but just a lot of risk inherently involved when you do that. When people don't necessarily know where they're going to go, or they don't have quite the quality of something that goes into that, which is the patience, the confidence, the technical ability, tactical ability. And quite often, there's a reason that guys aren't in the starting lineup. They're not ready for that, might still develop it, or just haven't had the experience with enough.
And now Brady Walker gets booked as he sends Kyle Nelson flying.
Everyone wants to be Man City or Barcelona until they get scored on because they're possessing inside their own 18. But usually it's a long-term plan, and with the players that they put out here today and the stars, they knew they were taking a risk. Still want to play the way they play. Because really, you think about it, do a disservice to the guys who are getting a chance today if they're coming in and playing a style that you're not going to play when they're on the field with the starters and full complement of players.
Ooh, Kanate had to dive in. He got the ball, says the referee from Lester Hayes.
We see Lester Hayes fronting McCruva now. So you wonder if maybe they're going to try to find his head, drive it right at him. No, they went to the back.
This time McCruva gets a hand to it.
Played a little decoy this time.
They have really bossed this second half, Savannah.
And Kyle Nelson staying up. He's like, come on now. Came all this way up here. Let's get a service in here.
He did score a couple of times his half season with the Stars. In fact, I think he scored a late winner in his first match for the club, if memory serves. Lester Hayes III takes a big deflection. And Olsen recovers to make sure that's a throw in and not a corner. Vaughn for Hargreaves. Good control by Mason Moyers. We'll clip this through. Yunchai heads straight up in the air. Last ditch clearance from the Stars. Maybe they can break forward now with Madukwe. Well, the chance for a quick build is essentially gone. Throw in. Under 10 minutes left. Well, you could still bring Leon Maric on if you're Enes Djokovic. It's already brought on Olsen and Steven Yunchai and Kanate. Good cushion header down. It's towards Kanate, but he didn't get there quickly enough. Outside of the boot pass for Jedediah McLeod. Cutting in. McLeod! Just wide. That was very, very close.
Yes, it wasn't. And really what let him down in the end was that touch that he made diagonally away from him to the right. So when he hit that ball, it just kept carrying. He did curl it, but his momentum was pushing it away. That would have been a stretch of Makruva if he was able to cover that. You know, part of the thought you could have by keeping Madukwe out there is the fact he is doing a lot of running. You know, maybe he's going to be doing some running that will alleviate some of the stress on some of the other players, where he'd probably want Leon Maric to be a little bit more static and play a little more under control, we'll call it. Also a little bit of a project too, trying to get him ingrained into the system, and so far he's been really effective when there's nothing happening. He makes something out of nothing, but in the build-up, that's what he really needs to work on a little bit more, developing.
Not a bad idea from Sako Kanate. Schneider looking for Vlad Jokic. Stars have the throw. Steven Yunchai, first chance he's really had to show us his considerable pace, and he's played in Madukwe here, who is onside, but he's had to peel out to the touchline. Cross in, Olsen's header over the top. That was probably the best sequence of play in this second half from the Stars.
Yeah, it was, and it gave an opportunity to really combine different ways. In the end, Hunter was probably just trying to redirect towards the goal, but maybe more towards that far post. I think I was surprised as most were that Steven Yunchai was able to get all the way in there after that great run. Covered a lot of ground fast.
McLeod, who nearly scored a couple of minutes ago. There's Vaughn, corner. Jedediah McLeod has been very dangerous all evening, has an assist from exactly this spot. That's whipped in, it's 2-1! The visitors, who only have 4 on the bench, have taken the lead against the reigning runners-up. And it's Corey Lundeen who hammers it home for Savannah Clovers. How about this second half turnaround?
You're watching this set piece. The Stars are playing zonally, trying to absorb the runners come in, and that's what allows the space for Lundeen to run into, put it on frame. Something to think about playing against these now that they're going to have actually tape against each other, which I don't know if anyone that's old enough to be on this field says tape anymore, but video of that. You see how they're attacking those set pieces, putting someone in front of Makruva. That time it was Kyle Nelson. Lester Hayes III, which you thought might have been the target, makes that run in first, and then that second wave in behind him, trying to absorb those runs. It's worked a number of times, getting great opportunities, then 2 goals off that for the Clovers.
Now they've got to try and see out what would be a priceless opening night win, a long way from home, with limited available substitutes. For the Stars, it's all hands to the pump now. Lelouch floats across it, looking from a Dukeway, who heads that down, but right at Jack Crichton. Well, just from the lineup that Michigan Stars put out there tonight, you can tell that the point of emphasis is on Motor City Mayhem, we'll call it, in the next round of the U.S. Open Cup against former league rivals Detroit City FC in Hamtramck. Keyworth Stadium is going to be jumping, I'm sure, on the 16th.
Yeah, as much as I'm sure DCFC thinks that they live in Michigan Stars' heads, there was a DCFC hat that was in the stands today before the game even started.
Here's Lundeen again.
I personally think both clubs probably live in each other's heads a little bit, and hey, that's how rivalry happens, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, focus on each other a little bit and bring a little extra steam to it.
Lower level soccer in this country doesn't have a ton of local derbies. We miss out on the Starby, I think we called it last year, Michigan Stars and Gold Star Detroit. Gold Star on hiatus this year.
And in Ohio and some of those leagues, and you got El Traficone.
That's true, in USL
down,
League 2.
Up and down 23 and 75, which I'm sure, well, we'll have to check the maps. That might be an El Traficone as well up here. We'll have to see what it is from here to Key Stadium, or Keyworth Stadium. Could be the same situation.
To Moyers. And the free kick goes Savannah's way.
As we did just see the ball boy expertly passing that ball in to the Savannah Clovers player. Nicely as well. I thought I'd heard the news about the EPL talking about no longer the ball boys are no longer allowed to give the ball to the team. They have to set them down because of so many shenanigans that can go on late.
Clovers again get the throw in. Michigan Stars running out of time to equalize. Lester Hayes III wasn't all that involved in the first half, has had a lot more to do in the second half.
It's about a 2v5, so at some point you need to get that ball passing. You got about 7v5 the other direction once you get it. Clovers have done a good job of not letting the Stars transition into the numbers up situations.
Goal kick. Great recovery run by the Savannah Clovers defender. De Leon, I think that was. And you mentioned it earlier, there should be pretty substantial stoppage time after that knock that Michael Harry took, the Michigan Stars goalkeeper, and then Tatenda Makruva have to hurriedly get himself ready to go.
And we've had a couple extensive ones here. I mean, nine minutes just last year. We've had a double digits one. I don't think it's going to be quite that far, but it did take some time to get Makruva onto the field.
Clovers will empty the subs bench. All three at the table ready to come on. Jack Proctor, Alex Ainsko, and Alejandro Cruz. I'll be hoping that they're trying to preserve all 3 points. Crichton's clearance. Stripling brought that down but gave it away immediately. Lester Hayes the third looking for Jokic's run. Makruva a long way out. He got stepped on. And that never feels good.
No. No, it does not. And I didn't hear a whistle at first, so I thought that was a strategic handling by the Stars to stop it, but obviously we just couldn't hear it up in the press box. But yeah, if he wasn't out that far out in the field, there's 5 minutes of stoppage time added before the 3 subs coming off. If he wasn't that far out, that would have been a breakaway possible situation against the Stars.
Stephen Yunchai won a throw in. Hunter Olson has a good long throw in him. Before that long throw in can be made, the changes will come. Jack Proctor, the teenager, will come on for Lester Hayes the third. 12 for 21, that's Ainsko for Jedediah McLeod. Although, are they waiting now? Maybe they'll wait to actually make these changes.
I think they may have been waiting as in time wasting waiting, maybe.
Well, that would make sense.
Good for them. Well played in that situation.
They've earned the right to do that.
Yeah.
And Jokic will go off, and Alejandro Cruz will replace him.
And the coaching staff of the Stars making their displeasure known to the fourth official over how long this is taking.
Now, it does occur to me, looking at these 3 guys coming onto the pitch, they are sacrificing a fair bit of height, most notably Lester Hayes at 6'5", who comes off when they're trying to defend against a long throw in the box, which now Hunter Olson will serve. Looking for Kanate. Ooh, just behind. Corner.
Yep, and now do they pay for taking that height off?
We've seen so many really good Stephen Yunchai corners down the years. Now would be the appropriate time for another one.
There you go, Olympico right here.
He will whip this in, back post. Robert Yunchai heads in front, and it's poked home! 2-2 in stoppage time! Well, Niels Lelouch, who had the winner against Steel City FC in the Open Cup, may have secured a point for the Stars on opening night. And it was a peach of a corner from Stephen Yunchai, finding his younger brother back post, and the touch in front from Lelouch stepped in front of Madukwe with 2 minutes remaining of stoppage time.
And that sub took about a minute, so you wonder if that's going to be added as well. If at this point, you wonder if either team cares and they just want to each get out with a point and let it move on. We'll have that answer right now as the Stars look like they are going to go.
Here they come again. Colin Stripling looking for Madukwe. Timed his run brilliantly if he can control and get a shot off. Instead, it's put behind for another corner. 3 of the 4 goals in this game have come from corner kicks. Stephen Yunchai, can he do it again?
Yeah, we'll see if it hampers again a height mismatch.
Oh, Robert Yunchai flicks that one wide. Not the most obvious target in the box, Robert. But it worked like a charm last time.
Yeah, nice redirect.
Yeah, he'll get the assist.
One touch all around. I'm not sure about NISA rules. That could be assist, double assist as well to Stephen Yunchai.
Well, it would be if this were Little Caesars Arena and the Red Wings were playing. Very late free kick for Savannah Clovers.
They look like they're going direct. You see the numbers-wise so far. So they're pulling the line just outside the 18.
Makruva in traffic leaps over Lelouch to snag it, and now he sent Hunter Olsen off on his way. Clovers have 4 men back, 4 up for the Stars. It came off of Kyle Nelson. That's a good win back by McLeod. Beg pardon, by Healy. And here is Elias McLeod. They've won it. Sensational 2 in stoppage time from Michigan Stars. Well, we said right from the jump in NISA anything can happen, and it usually does. Tonight, anything happened. Anything and everything. And that's just so casual from Corey Lundeen in midfield. Kyle Healy with such an engine on him in midfield pounced. Elias McLeod, a great finish past Crichton. How about that?
Think about the amount of injury time and extra time goals this Michigan Stars team has had in their last 2 games. I don't know. Maybe it's fitness regimen. We got to find out how they stayed this fit to perform over 90 minutes in. Incredible.
Oh, you feel so badly for Savannah Clovers, who had such a phenomenal first 90 minutes and then a really poor 5 in stoppage time. And that's it. The Stars win it on what is nearly the final kick of the game. After a giveaway by the Savannah Clovers, Kyle Healy pounces, plays in Elias McLeod, and it ends 3-2 to the Michigan Stars on opening night. Hopefully, a sign of things to come.
Yeah, excitement up until the end. This is why you never get too down in a game. You've got to keep playing, going for the next one, The Stars certainly did, and they got the 2 they needed late.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Praise Madukwe scoring in the 32nd minute. He was headed through by Nicholas Nicola. Ball was played back to the keeper. Couldn't find him. Madukwe, an opportunistic goal, and then a wild second half. Lester Hayes, the third, scoring from a corner. Corey Lundeen doing same. 2 great balls in from Jedediah McLeod, and then 2 goals and time added on at the end. Niels Lelouch and Elias McLeod. What a way to start the season, huh?
Hey, did it look like we're going to have 5 goals today early? No, it did not. A treasure of goals late, but what a fun way to get through this game. A lot of questions were coming into this game, a lot of questions answered for both. Credit to the Savannah Clovers for trying to push through a game like this today, leading it for as long as they did. Being outmanned by numbers, but certainly were game in this game for a long period of time.
They certainly
just didn't
were.
have enough to finish it off.
What a win for the Michigan Stars. Season opener, 3 wins in 3 to open the season, including the 2 in the U.S. Open Cup, and they are leaving them late. 2 wins in extra time in the Cup, and 2 goals to turn a 2-1 possible defeat into a 3-2 win over Savannah Clovers on the opening night of NISA action. For Chris Black and all of our crew, this is Mason Lowry saying so long from Romeo. Michigan Stars winners 3-2 over Savannah Clovers. Good night, everyone.